varicose veins often has an inherited factor, but remember that genetics loads the gun, lifestyle pulls the trigger. So if someone has inherited varicose veins, there are a few things they can do to manage it. If someone's carrying excess weight, that can certainly intensify the veins. Constipation, that excess weight on the lower legs can compound the problem.
Have you ever felt your legs swelling or your feet becoming uncomfortably puffy? It's more than just an inconvenience. Ignoring it could signal serious health risks, especially as you get older. In this video, we'll uncover the real reasons behind this swelling and reveal effective solutions to improve circulation and safeguard your health before it's too late. Stay tuned as we explore life-changing remedies that could make a huge difference in your daily routine. As a thank you for joining me today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to our subscribers. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, like this video, and comment why you want to win. Now let's get started.
Now we're going to have a look at cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper, we've got cayenne pepper in this little container here. Cayenne pepper is a remarkable herb. Some people say we shouldn't use it because it's a stimulant. It is not a stimulant like caffeine or alcohol or marijuana is a stimulant. It's a blood stimulant. That means it's good because Leviticus 17:11 states that the life of the flesh is in the blood. So anything that moves blood is going to be helpful. There's a book you can get. It's by Sam Beiser. It's called Curing with Cayenne. And he shows in that book that you put cayenne with any other herb and it'll intensify that other herb's action. It's a blood stimulant. It can be used internally and it can be used externally. And I think in your book it shows how it does three main things internally in the blood. It thins the blood, it strengthens the arterial walls, and it opens the capillaries. So let me tell you about an experience I had a few years ago. It was one of our retreats. I got the call, lady'd had a heart attack. I was only 3 minutes away, that's why you have to be fit. I ran down, it was a cooking class with about 16 people, and she was lying on the floor. She was 80. Her husband said she'd already had a few that year, and they always called the ambulance, but they thought, let's see what they do. And I said to my offsider, cayenne pepper, quickly. We got the cayenne pepper. Now there was a guy holding a pulse and he said the pulse is almost gone. She was just white. So I don't know how much I got. You're just in a hurry. So I think I got about half a teaspoon, put it straight in her mouth. She was half conscious, gave her a little bit of water to drink. And the guy holding the pulse yelled out, the pulse is strong. This would have been 2 minutes. And you could feel that pulse come back and all the blood came back to her face. She sat up and said, what happened? Everyone around was going, whoa. And I said, no, it's not me, it's the cayenne pepper. So we sold out of cayenne pepper that program. What did the cayenne pepper do? It thinned the blood, it opened the capillaries and got a dramatic delivery of blood through the whole body. Remember, 1 minute for 1 drop of blood to go around your whole body. I have read about it, but then I actually experienced it. So cayenne pepper can also be used to boost hydrochloric acid. You take it in internally, it'll boost digestion. Cayenne pepper can also ease a sore throat. Remember, it's in the flu bomb. It might give it initial tingle, but then when that tingle settles down, it eases it. Some people take or are told to take aspirin for a blood thinner. In fact, I have read where it is recommended that anyone over the age of 50 should be on half an aspirin a day. You might have heard that. Well, what the research is showing today is that aspirin causes stomach bleeds. It's the #1 cause of stomach ulcers. It causes brain bleeds and eye bleeds. That's what the recent research is showing. Cayenne pepper will not cause that at all, but if cayenne pepper's in your blood and it sees a bleed, it'll constrict the blood vessels to stop the bleeding. Yes, it dilates the blood vessels when it's in the blood, but if it sees a break, it'll constrict that. Beautiful illustration of Psalm 104 verse 14, that God gave herbs for the service of man. Remember? They're there to serve you. Where would you like me? What would you like me to do? thin that, seal that. That's the cayenne pepper. In fact, it's just about a first aid kit in one, is the cayenne pepper. And you'll get used to it.
Remedy 1. You might have observed that drinking water sometimes makes your legs swell. However, the reality is that swollen legs indicate your cells aren't properly absorbing water as they should. Caffeine, refined grains, sugar, alcohol, meat and dairy are key contributors to swelling. These foods disrupt your body's fluid balance and impair circulation. Caffeine and alcohol function as diuretics, leading to dehydration and triggering fluid retention, which causes swelling in your extremities. Refined grains and sugars cause spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels, promoting inflammation and fluid retention. Meanwhile, meat and dairy are often inflammatory and high in sodium, further exacerbating fluid buildup. Reducing your intake of these foods can help your body achieve a healthier fluid balance, effectively minimizing swelling. If you've inherited varicose veins, don't worry, there are plenty of ways to manage and even improve your condition. And don't underestimate the role of constipation. Paired with excess weight, it adds unnecessary pressure on your legs, worsening swelling. Tweaking your diet is a crucial step to improving circulation and reducing fluid retention. Your diet plays a significant role in either causing or alleviating swelling. A fibre-rich plant-based diet is essential for combating leg and foot swelling. Fibre supports regular bowel movements, relieving pressure on veins and promoting vascular health. Incorporating foods like leafy greens, berries, legumes and whole grains can improve digestion and ease strain on your circulatory system. At the same time, steer clear of foods that contribute to dehydration and fluid retention to help minimise swelling.
Now you can use it externally. I'm going to show you how you can use it externally, and I'm going to show you how you can use it for poor circulation in the feet, cold feet. I find people that allow their feet to be cold, eventually their feet are numb. And eventually the next step after numb feet is gangrene of the toes. You see, the blood's the life of the flesh, and any part of the body that's cold, blood's not going in there. So blood's not feeding the area, it's not feeding the herbs, the nerves. You cannot put cold feet into hot water or you'll damage the tissues. So what can you do? You can make a cayenne compress to put on the bottom of the feet. So to make a cayenne pepper compress, you get some paper towel and you cut it to the size of the foot, which would be, let's just guess, it'll be about this. I guess I'm guessing my size foot. And you put it on, I've doubled over a couple of layers of cling wrap there. And then you put a little olive oil on there. Not a lot, because you don't want to soil your sheets. So I'm going to put it in this plate to show you how you can put it on lightly. So I'm just going to dab it on. The reason why I'm putting olive oil there is in a minute I'm going to sprinkle the cayenne on it, and this causes the cayenne to stick to it. So it's really just there for the cayenne pepper to stick to it. Now that's about the right amount. As I said, any more and it will leak, because this compress is worn overnight. So you can see I've just got a light sprinkling of oil there. And now I'm going to put the cayenne pepper on that. So you put about a half a teaspoon for each foot. So that's about half a teaspoon. So you can see the way I'm holding it up, the cayenne pepper is now sticking to the paper, and the foot goes straight onto that. And then you put a sock on and leave it on all night. If I put that on my foot, by 4 in the morning, I'm waking up wanting to rip it off because my feet are so hot. But if someone has no feeling in their feet, or if someone regularly has cold feet, often by morning they're feeling a little tingle. So you would probably wear it every second night until your feet get hot. So that's a very easy way to warm up feet, because feet must be warm. So you'd put one on each foot. I've even made it and folded it up and left it at one lady's house that I visited, and she had no feeling in her feet. Peripheral neuropathy, that's a side effect of chemotherapy where people lose that feeling in their feet. They can bring their feet alive again with the cayenne pepper compresses. So you could even make a few and fold them over like that. So I left them with a lady so that she could use them.
Remedy 2. Adding herbal remedies to your daily routine is a natural and powerful approach to managing leg and foot swelling. For centuries, herbs like cayenne pepper and witch hazel have been trusted for their ability to support vascular health and reduce swelling, addressing both the internal and external factors behind the condition. Cayenne pepper is an effective remedy for strengthening the walls of arteries and veins. Healthy, robust blood vessels are less prone to leaking fluid into surrounding tissues, helping to reduce swelling. Beyond supporting vascular health, cayenne pepper is also known for its ability to heal stomach ulcers and serves as one of the most potent natural circulatory stimulants. Cayenne pepper is a blood stimulant, not a nervous system stimulant like caffeine or tobacco. It strengthens blood vessels, reduces leakage into tissues, and improves circulation, helping prevent swelling in the legs and feet. The capsaicin in cayenne dilates blood vessels and lowers blood pressure, boosting circulation and preventing blood pooling. Start with a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne in water 3 times a day. This simple remedy can easily be added to your routine, supporting your vascular health and reducing fluid accumulation over time. Taking cayenne pepper orally also helps thin the blood and opens up capillaries, further strengthening the walls of arteries and veins. Start with a 1/4 teaspoon mixed in water with each meal 3 times a day, and gradually increase to 1/2 teaspoon 3 times daily to experience the full benefits. These simple steps can greatly help manage varicose veins. Along with cayenne pepper, I recommend the external use of witch hazel. Its astringent properties tighten blood vessels, reducing swelling. Apply witch hazel cream directly to inflamed areas and gently massage it in for instant relief, especially beneficial for those with varicose veins. Remedy 3. Ice massage is a simple yet powerful tool for reducing inflammation. Applying ice to swollen areas for short bursts can constrict blood vessels and reduce fluid buildup. Move the ice in a circular motion for even coverage, avoiding direct skin contact to prevent frostbite. This technique offers quick relief from swelling and can be repeated throughout the day.
Cayenne pepper is a blood mover. And Leviticus 17:11 in the Bible, it says the life of the flesh is in the blood. And basically that's what hot and colds are doing. They're moving the blood. And cayenne pepper will bring blood to an area. Cayenne pepper can be used internally and it can be used externally. Internally, it can be used for a sore throat. You might think, well, that's the last thing you feel like taking if you've got a sore throat. If you take it, yes, it'll tingle, but when the tingle settles down within a couple of minutes, you'll find that the sore throat has been relieved. And you'll notice that it's in the flu bomb. You can also take it for low hydrochloric acid. If someone's has a lot of bloating, that can be low hydrochloric acid. See, this will wake anything up. Internally, out of the gut and into the blood, it thins the blood. What it will also do is it'll open the capillaries and it will strengthen the arterial walls. So it's a great additive to people who've had a stroke or who've had a heart attack. They're often put on blood thinners, no need for blood thinners. You can take the cayenne pepper. How much? You might start with a 1/4 teaspoon in a little water 3 times a day. Personally, I think it's the easiest way to take it. 1/4 teaspoon into a 1/3 cup of water and just throw it down. Might tingle a little, but then it settles quickly. Some people love it and put it on their food. 3 times a day. 3 times a day. Build up to half a teaspoon 3 times. If someone can't handle that, they could have maybe a capsule 3 times a day. If someone's coming off medication, it's important to have it 3 times a day. Cayenne pepper can be used externally. And where you use cayenne pepper externally, and you might be surprised at what I'm about to say, if someone's had a cut and you sprinkle that into the cut, it'll stop the bleeding. And it can even help to pull the cut together. Obviously there might be some serious cuts that might need stitches. And you might also remember the other day I talked about pine pitch. Pine pitch can be poured into a deeper cut, and as that dries it'll seal it. But cayenne pepper can be used to stop bleeding with a cut. Cayenne pepper can also be used to bring blood to an area. And when a person has had chemotherapy, often they suffer from peripheral neuropathy, which means they lose feeling in their feet. And I am told that this is an incredibly uncomfortable experience. One man said, I can't feel my feet, but when I go to bed at night, it feels like there are 2 rocks hanging on the end of my legs. It is so uncomfortable. And so what we did was we put cayenne pepper compresses on the bottom of his feet. So to make the cayenne pepper compress, we fold up a piece of cling wrap a few times, about the size of the bottom of the foot, and we fold over a couple of layers of kitchen paper. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sprinkle some olive oil onto that. And the reason you sprinkle the olive oil onto that is so that it'll cause the cayenne pepper to stick to it. I don't pour the olive oil on that because otherwise it's too much olive oil, and then olive oil will go all through the bed and all through the sheets, and that is no fun at all. So I just dot the paper with a little olive oil, and what you'll see when I've done this, when I put the cayenne pepper on, the cayenne pepper sticks to it. If you don't put the oil on, the cayenne pepper just falls off. But just that little bit of olive oil will cause the cayenne pepper to stay there, and yet it's not enough olive oil so that your socks and your sheets and everything gets oily. And I don't like oil on sheets, so I go to a little bit of extra effort to make sure that this is not going to leak oil. So you'll see that I've just dotted it with a little bit of olive oil. And usually you put about a teaspoon per foot. And the foot goes straight onto this. So I spread that over. And there it is. Now if I hadn't put the oil on, that would all be falling off, yeah? So that's the reason for the oil. And then the foot goes straight onto that. And then you can put a sock on. And if you think it might oil out a bit, you can put a plastic bag over the sock if you so wish. And you put that on both feet. I visited a lady once who had peripheral neuropathy after she'd had her chemotherapy. She's an 80-year-old lady, so I made 6 of these and I just folded them over like that and put them in a snap-lock bag. So she had enough for the week. If I put that on my feet and woke up tomorrow morning, my feet would feel like they were on fire because my feet are always warm. They're always warm because I make sure they're always warm. But if someone had cold feet and they put that on their feet, then by morning their feet are just nice and warm. So it can be used for people with cold feet because feet should never get cold. Perfect health requires perfect circulation, and perfect circulation means that my feet and my hands are the same temperature the rest of my body. And what happens when a person has cold feet and they just let them stay cold, then after a few years they start to lose feeling in the edge of their toes. Do you know, if this continues, those toes will go gangrene and then maybe even be removed. So let's just keep our feet warm. So it's important to keep the feet warm. So that's the cayenne pepper compress that can be put on the feet for peripheral neuropathy, if someone's lost feeling in their feet. And the man who told me that he had no feeling in his feet and it felt like there were lumps or two big rocks on the end of his legs, we put the cayenne compress on the bottom of his feet. And in the morning he said, I slept all night, I had no uncomfortable feeling. We missed a night, and I think it's a good idea to give one night a break, and we did it again, and the next morning he said, I've got pins and needles in my feet. Now what's that? That's the first sign of life coming back to his feet. He came to us because he had multiple sclerosis. He was in a wheelchair. The man was late 50s, and at the end of the program he stood up, he could stand up at this stage, and he had tears. He said, I came here just for a break. He said, I had no idea that I would get this sort of help just from a cayenne pepper compress. Cayenne pepper is very safe. In fact, there's a book in the library, it's called Back to Eden by Jethro Kloss, and he devotes half a page to every herb and he devotes 10 pages to cayenne pepper. And he quotes 2 doctors in his article. And one doctor says it's impossible to abuse cayenne pepper. Do you know what that means? You could eat a bucket of it a day and it would not hurt you. But I don't know anyone who will do that or who wants to do that. It's a bit of common sense there. And another doctor says it's impossible to cause a lesion, meaning it will never burn you. Might feel like it, but it won't. It'll heal a stomach ulcer. It will never cause one, but it can help to heal one. So that's the cayenne pepper. In fact, it's almost the first aid kit in one, is cayenne pepper.
Remedy 4. Choosing the right footwear plays a key role in maintaining healthy circulation and preventing swelling. Well-fitted shoes made from natural materials, offering proper arch support, cushioned insoles and a spacious toe box help promote circulation and reduce fluid retention. When combined with low-impact exercises like cycling or swimming, this can make a significant difference in the health of your legs and feet. Your calf muscle is often called your second heart because it plays a vital role in pumping blood back to the heart. Simple movements like walking up and down on your toes can activate your calf muscles and help maintain efficient blood flow. Swimming is another fantastic full-body exercise that strengthens muscles while supporting healthy circulation. The buoyancy of water allows you to move freely without placing too much strain on your joints and veins, making it a gentle yet effective way to work out.
So cayenne pepper is a remarkable herb. Cayenne pepper will thin the blood. Cayenne pepper will rebuild heart muscle. Cayenne pepper will strengthen the arterial walls. Cayenne pepper is a blood stimulant, and anything that stimulates blood stimulates healing. In fact, it has been said that you put cayenne pepper with any other herb and you will increase its effectiveness. You can use it internally. You can use it for a sore throat. Yes, it'll tingle at first, but once the tingling dies down, the sore throat is greatly relieved. You can use it for low hydrochloric acid. It'll wake anything up. It wakes stomachs up. In the book Back to Eden, Jethro Kloss quotes a couple of doctors in his 10 pages on the cayenne pepper. And one doctor says it's impossible to abuse cayenne pepper. Another doctor says it will never cause a lesion. It feels like it's burning, but really it's just stimulating. You can use it externally also to bring blood to an area. And where I find it very helpful if someone has no feeling in their feet or they have peripheral neuropathy, and sometimes that's a side effect of having chemotherapy, or if someone continually has cold feet. Perfect health requires perfect circulation, and perfect circulation means your feet and your hands are warm. So what you do if someone has cold feet, you cannot do this treatment to them. Because if they have continually cold feet and you put the cold feet in hot water, you can damage the tissues. If someone has no feeling in their extremities, you must not do the hot. You can damage the tissues. But you can do what I'm about to show you, which is a olive oil and cayenne pepper compress. Now what I've got is cling wrap down there, and I've got a double layer of kitchen paper, and I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit of olive oil. You could use castor oil if you like, but olive oil will suffice. And you spread it over the area, because what you want to do is put enough olive oil on there so that the cayenne pepper will stick to it. Don't put too much olive oil on, because if you put too much olive oil on, the oil can leak out, and that's no fun on socks and sheets. So what I've done now is I've put the olive oil on like that, and now I'm going to sprinkle cayenne pepper. And what you would do is you would do about half a teaspoon to a foot. If you don't put the olive oil on there, the cayenne pepper just falls off. And then the foot goes straight on that. And that will never burn. So you see what I've done now? And you see that cayenne pepper is sticking quite nicely to the olive oil. Then you put the foot straight on there, and you put the Glad wrap over, and then you put a sock on. If you don't want that much Glad wrap on your foot, you can just end the Glad wrap a little past the kitchen paper, and you put a nice firm fitting sock on. Now if I put that on someone with good circulation, by morning their feet are very hot, but not till morning. If I put that on someone with no feeling in their feet, by morning they're telling me they've got pins and needles in their feet. For someone with very poor circulation, cold feet, it sometimes will take a few days. If I did that on my feet 2 nights in a row, I'd want my feet in ice water all day. My feet would get too hot. It's a very gentle treatment. It will never hurt, but it's a very gentle way of increasing the blood supply to the extremities. So anyone who has lost feeling in any part of their body, you can apply these cayenne pepper compresses. And you can even make them beforehand and turn them over like that. So if you're visiting someone with it and they find it hard to make it, you can make it for them, and then they can open it up and put their foot on that. Usually overnight is how you would do it. You can put it on the thyroid for an underactive thyroid. Again, any area where there's no feeling. Now the last we're going to look at is charcoal. Charcoal is a remarkable substance, because charcoal can absorb up to, I think it's the figures are about 150 times its own weight in poisons. Now charcoal is unique in that it not only absorbs poison, it neutralizes poison. That's a very important point. So you can use it internally for any poisoning, or you can use it internally for diarrhea. And a lot of people will travel with charcoal now when they go to Asia. You can actually get charcoal tablets. You can use charcoal externally for bee stings, wasp bites, spider bites, snake bites. But when you mix charcoal with water, it's like mixing dirt with water. So I'm going to mix it because I'm all for no mess, and charcoal's very messy. So I'm going to mix it with psyllium. You can also mix it with ground flax, but it's a pity I'd rather eat the flax. So I'm going to do it with psyllium, and you can use equal amounts of psyllium. So we're going to do 2 psyllium, and we're going to do 2 charcoal. Now this poultice that I'm making, it can be used on sore eyes, it can be used on bee stings, you know, any type of stings, wasp stings. It's quite incredible the way it takes the pain out almost immediately. So I'm going to mix that a little bit, and then I'm going to put water in. Now if I were to mix this in a bowl, then we'd have terrible trouble trying to get the black out of our bowl. But if you mix it in something like this, there's a few pluses. One is it's not going to be messy, and I do this when I'm cooking, I guess. Now you seal it up, and then you mix.
Well, that's a wrap on today's discussion about methods to treat swollen legs. I hope you found these natural remedies helpful and insightful. Remember, consistency is key when it comes to healing. Take care of your body and always listen to what it needs. Stay tuned for more practical tips and advice. Until next time, keep your health at the forefront. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more health tips like these. Thanks for listening and take care.